What's up, everyone? Welcome to ClearTalk. So in this video, I thought I'd do a little bit different, something different. I mean, I've been, pretty heavy here with the political, politics and also some of the religious videos and stuff here lately. But I thought I'd do something slightly different, still somewhat in the realm of, but it's in educational. In lieu of the whole, all the wars going on and stuff, uh, and the nuclear threat. Um, I thought this video just happened. I just happened to come up in my feeds, and I thought, it's something this educational, something to give you an idea, a perspective of what a nuclear weapon, especially a modern nuclear weapon, could do. So and why it is pretty much feared uh, for something like that to happen. Not only I think by like just a regular, public, but also I think to some degree even feared by those that are in, power. Those that would actually be like making the decision to launch such a weapon. So, and so maybe to give a like I said, a perspective of what just this will do and what it would mean for society on the geopolitical scale, whatever, for something like this to happen. So, anyways, thank you for joining me. If you like this content, please consider subscribing, like, share, all that good stuff. Check out my other channels, JMD Drummer, JMDPLAY. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to those if you would like. There's Discord there, one-time donations, or you can go to JMD Nation. Patreon, $3 a month there. And any support you give though is very much appreciated. So thank you very much. All right, so we're gonna swap over here. This is from the Science Time. I just come across this. Honestly, I'm not completely like, I don't know how completely like 100, accurate maybe they are, but I watched through the first minute or so, thought it was interesting, so I thought we'd look at it, check it out, discuss it afterwards, whatever. So, anyways, here we go. Let's go check it out.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 1. Security lockdown.
Russian nukes in space.
The country recently tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile.
Hypersonic missiles and aircraft could be the future of warfare.
One of the most powerful nuclear weapons in the world is the B-83 nuclear bomb, the heavyweight of the US arsenal. Weighing about 2,400 pounds or 1,100 kilograms and stretching 12 feet or 3.7 meters in length with a diameter of 18 inches or 46 centimeters, it's roughly the size of a small car. But within this imposing frame lies a force of unimaginable destruction.
I don't know what I was like, thinking about or picturing in my head really, when the idea of like a nuclear weapon comes into mind. Now, being the size of a small car is pretty big. Like that's pretty good size. In itself, I kind of feel like maybe I was thinking a little bit bigger than that, but I don't know. I guess that's about right. Or I don't know. I probably was thinking way bigger than that though, or at least in length, a little bit bigger than that, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, let me know what you kind of think in your mind when you think of a nuclear weapon, nuclear bomb, or something. What that for you kind of, what you were picturing, I guess. Anyways, let me know. Comments.
The B-83 is a gravity bomb, meaning it's dropped from an aircraft and relies solely on gravity to reach its target. No rockets or propulsion systems, just a free-falling descent. This might sound simple, but the devastation it can unleash is anything but. Carried by strategic bombers like the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber and the B-52 Stratofortress, the B-83 can be delivered deep into enemy territory. With a blast yield of up to 1.2 megatons of TNT, the B-83 is approximately 80 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, which had a yield of about 15 kilotons.
Hiroshima. I got that wrong. Okay. Or I was thinking differently. So that's crazy. That's crazy. That's massive. Wow. Okay.
To put that into perspective, imagine the explosive energy of 1.2 million tons of TNT detonating in a single moment. But the B-83 isn't just about raw power. It's designed to penetrate underground bunkers, burrowing into the earth before detonating. As for how many of these weapons exist, while exact numbers are classified, experts estimate that there are about 650 B-83s, and it is thought there are about 200 B-83 bombs in active service. This number has decreased over the years due to arms reduction treaties and modernization efforts. In fact, there are plans to retire the B-83 altogether in favor of more advanced, lower-yield nuclear weapons. To grasp the true magnitude of the B-83's destructive power, imagine a single one detonated as an airburst over Beijing, China. The immediate fireball would engulf an area over 4 square kilometers or 1.5 square miles, vaporizing everything within its radius. Buildings would collapse within a 7.5 kilometer or 4.6 mile radius due to the intense blast pressure, flattening much of the city center. Windows would shatter up to 21 kilometers or 13 miles away, sending glass shards flying and causing injuries.
That's crazy. 13 miles away. Glass breaking. Wow.
Even in distant neighborhoods. The thermal radiation would cause third-degree burns to anyone within 13 kilometers or 8 miles.
Third-degree burns for up to 8 miles.
Covering an area of over 500 square kilometers or over 200 square miles. In terms of human cost, such a detonation could result in an estimated 1.5 million immediate fatalities and over 3 million injuries, and that's just from a single B-83 bomb.
Damn.
The United States operates about 76 B-52 Stratofortress bombers, which were once...
I mean, yeah, clearly you're talking about a highly populated area, you know. But still, that's crazy. Just for one bomb. And we roughly have 200 in active service, with an additional 400 or so just as backup. That's wild. That's wild. It's something I've also not completely agreed with or understood, how we are constantly trying to argue against all these different countries, you know, being able to gain their own nuclear weapons or power, which, granted, don't get me wrong, I would prefer they not, but I would also prefer we not as well, you know. And that's the thing, something like our government's constantly arguing against other groups not having them, but yet we have just a shit ton. Like, we're scared of one group of people getting just one, you know, right? And then we've got hundreds of them. Like, the scale there just doesn't quite seem reasonable, right? Crazy.
Capable of carrying up to 8 B-83 nuclear bombs. However, by 2010, U.S. Strategic Command removed nuclear gravity bombs from the B-52's arsenal as the aircraft was no longer considered capable of surviving modern air defenses. Today, only the US fleet of 19 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers is tasked with delivering nuclear gravity bombs, including the B-83, with each capable of carrying up to 16 B-83 nuclear bombs.
That's crazy.
This means the potential for devastation isn't limited to one bomb, but could involve numerous simultaneous detonations, exponentially increasing the destructive impact. In imagining the true scale of modern nuclear weapons, at number 4 on the list is the Trident II missile, a cornerstone of the US and UK nuclear deterrent.
See, that's that's more what I was thinking. That's more what I was thinking. That's massive.
Unlike gravity bombs like the B-83, the Trident II is a submarine-launched ballistic missile, or SLBM. The Trident II missile is an engineering marvel. Weighing about 59,000 kilograms or 130,000 pounds,
Holy
and
shit.
stretching 13.5 meters or 44 feet in length, it's a 3-stage solid-fuel rocket capable of traveling over 12,000 kilometers or 7,500 miles. This incredible range allows it to strike targets virtually anywhere on the globe, from submarines hidden deep beneath the ocean's surface. What truly sets the Trident II apart is its use of multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, or MIRVs. Each missile can carry up to 8 nuclear warheads, typically the W-88, each with a yield of 475 kilotons. That's about 30 times the power of the Hiroshima bomb for each warhead. This means a single Trident II missile can deliver devastating blows to multiple targets across a wide area,
Wow.
effectively multiplying its destructive capability. The missile's guidance system is highly advanced, combining astro-inertial navigation with GPS updates to ensure remarkable accuracy. It's capable of hitting within 100 meters of its target after traveling thousands of miles. The Trident II is deployed on Ohio-class submarines for the US Navy and Vanguard-class submarines for the Royal Navy, providing a stealthy and survivable second strike capability that is crucial for nuclear deterrence. To grasp the potential impact of this weapon, imagine a single Trident II missile launched toward Moscow, with all 8 warheads targeting the same area for maximum effect. The combined explosive yield would be approximately 3.8 megatons of TNT. Upon detonation as an airburst, the immediate fireball would engulf an area over 10 square kilometers, or close to 4 square miles, vaporizing everything within its radius. Buildings would be obliterated within an 11-kilometer or close to 7-mile radius, flattening much of the city center. Thermal radiation would cause third-degree burns to anyone within 22 kilometers, or close to 14 miles from ground zero, covering an area of over 1,500 square kilometers or 580 square miles. The human cost would be staggering, estimated at over 2.8 million immediate fatalities and 4.6 million injuries. And remember, this is from just one Trident II missile. The United States operates 14 Ohio-class nuclear submarines, each capable of carrying up to 20 Trident II missiles. That adds up to 280 Trident II missiles lurking in the depths of the oceans. With each missile carrying up to 8 warheads at 475 kilotons apiece, we're looking at a total of 2,240 nuclear warheads.
Wow.
If you calculate the combined explosive power, it amounts to an astonishing 1,064 megatons of TNT. That's the equivalent of over 70,000 Hiroshima bombs worth of destructive energy concealed beneath the sea. This immense force is constantly on patrol, ready to be unleashed if ever called upon.
That's crazy.
At number 3 is China's DF-5 intercontinental ballistic missile, specifically the DF-5C variant. This missile is a true giant, standing over 106 feet tall and weighing approximately 183 tons. First introduced in the 1980s, the DF-5 has remained a cornerstone of China's nuclear deterrent ever since. The DF-5 has an impressive range of up to 15,000 kilometers, or about 9,300 miles, which means it can reach almost any target on the globe from launch sites within China. What makes it particularly formidable is its payload. The latest versions, like the DF-5B and DF-5C, are equipped with MIRVs, allowing them to carry up to 12 nuclear warheads, each with a yield of 1 megaton of TNT. To understand the scale, remember that the Hiroshima bomb was just 15 kilotons of TNT, so each warhead on the DF-5 is about 66 times more powerful. If all 12 warheads were directed at the same target area, the combined explosive power would be a staggering 12 megatons. That's 800
nuts.
times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Let's imagine that a single DF-5C missile launched toward Washington, D.C., with all 12 warheads impacting the same area. The fireball would engulf an area with a radius greater than 3 kilometers or 2 miles, effectively vaporizing everything in that zone. The blast would cause most residential buildings to collapse within a 16-kilometer or close to 10-mile radius. And third-degree burns could affect people up to 35 kilometers or close to 22 miles away. The human cost would be unimaginable. Estimated fatalities could exceed 1 million, with over 1.8 million more injured. What's even more alarming is that this level of destruction comes from just one DF-5 missile. China is believed to have around 20 to 30 DF-5 missiles in its arsenal. At number 2 on the list is the Russian R-36 ICBM, better known by its NATO designation as the Satan missile. Developed during the Cold War, this missile is one of the most powerful ever built, designed to deliver massive nuclear payloads across vast distances. The R-36 is a colossal missile, standing over 32 meters, or about 106 feet tall, and weighing close to a staggering 210,000 kilograms, which is close to 500,000 pounds. It's a two-stage, liquid-fueled rocket designed to deliver nuclear warheads across continents, with an operational range of up to 16,000 kilometers or close to 10,000 miles. This means it can reach targets virtually anywhere in the world from launch sites within Russia. What makes the Satan missile particularly fearsome is its payload capacity. It can carry up to 10 MIRVs, each armed with a nuclear warhead ranging up to 1 megaton of TNT. This means a single missile can unleash a total explosive yield of up to 10 megatons of TNT, about 666 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, a fitting figure for the Satan missile. Some variants of the R-36 were equipped with a single massive warhead with a yield of up to 20 megatons. That's over 1,300 times the power of the Hiroshima bomb, designed to obliterate hardened targets like missile silos and command bunkers. Now imagine if a single R-36 missile were to detonate over San Francisco with a single 15 megaton warhead. The immediate fireball would engulf an area over 30 square kilometers or 12 square miles, vaporizing everything within a 3.
The initial fireball, 12 miles. Square mile. That's, whoa. Holy shit.
Kilometer, or close to a 2-mile radius.
Oh, okay, 2 miles. Sorry. Okay. 12 kilometers. My bad. 2-mile radius. Okay, so that's a little bit, or roughly around the same as the China one. Okay. I was about to say, holy shit.
Buildings would be flattened within a 17-kilometer or over 10-mile radius, decimating much of the Bay Area. Thermal radiation would cause third-degree burns to people up to 40 kilometers or over 24 miles away,
24 miles.
covering an area of nearly 4,800 square kilometers or 1,850 square miles. The human toll would be catastrophic.
1,000 square mile?
Estimated fatalities could exceed 1 million, with over 1.3 million more injured. And this is the impact of just one missile. Russia is believed to have around 46 operational R-36M2 Voyvoda missiles, the most advanced variant of the SS-18. Each of these missiles can carry multiple warheads, significantly multiplying their destructive potential. With such an arsenal, the sheer scale of power held within these weapons is almost beyond comprehension. Finally, at the top of the list is the Russian RS-28 Sarmat missile, ominously nicknamed the Satan II. This intercontinental ballistic missile represents the pinnacle of modern nuclear weaponry, developed to replace the aging R-36M Satan missiles. The RS-28 Sarmat is designed to evade missile defense systems and deliver massive payloads across the globe. The Sarmat is a three-stage liquid-fueled missile that weighs over 208 tons and measures over 35 meters, or about 116 feet in length. It's capable of carrying a variety of warhead configurations, including up to 10 heavy MIRVs or 15 lighter ones, along with advanced countermeasures to bypass missile defenses. Its range exceeds 18,000 kilometers, or over 11,000 miles, allowing it to reach targets anywhere on Earth. One of the most concerning features of the RS-28 is its ability to utilize a fractional orbital bombardment system, or FOBS. This means the missile can enter a low Earth orbit and approach targets from any direction, including over the South Pole, effectively bypassing traditional early warning systems that are oriented toward the north. Some reports speculate that the Sarmat could theoretically carry a payload of up to 50 megatons, equivalent to the Tsar bomber, the most powerful nuclear device ever detonated. While such a massive yield is more hypothetical and not practical for modern military use, imagining its potential impact is sobering. Consider a scenario where a 50 megaton warhead is detonated over New York City. The immediate fireball would engulf an area with a radius of over 5 kilometers or over 3 miles, vaporizing everything within 83 square kilometers or 32 square miles. The intense blast wave would cause heavy destruction up to 26 kilometers or 16 miles away, leveling buildings and structures in more than 2,000 square kilometers or close to 800 square miles. Third-degree burns could be inflicted on people up to 60 kilometers or 37 miles away, covering an area of close to 11,000 square kilometers or over 4,200 square miles. The human toll would be unimaginable. Estimated fatalities could exceed 7 million people, with over 6 million more injured. And this is just from a single RS-28 Sarmat missile, assuming the theoretical payload of 50 megatons of TNT. To put this into perspective, when the 50 megaton Tsar bomber was detonated in 1961, the flash was visible as far away as Norway, over 1,000 kilometers from the test site. Similarly, a 50 megaton explosion over New York City would be visible with the naked eye all the way to Columbia, South Carolina, nearly 1,000 kilometers away. But what does all this mean for us today? Despite Russia's impressive arsenal on paper, recent events have cast doubt on its true capabilities. Russia's new Sarmat ballistic missile, known as the Satan II, reportedly blew up during a test launch, leaving a massive crater at the site. Combined with the setbacks and debacles Russia has faced in its aggressor's war in Ukraine, it seems that Russia might not be as formidable as many once thought, but merely a paper tiger. Yet in a full-scale nuclear exchange, even a few missiles from Russia's nearly 6,000 nuclear warheads would cause unimaginable damage to the United States. But the real challenge isn't about who has the biggest bomb, but about ensuring these weapons are never used. Because in a nuclear war, there are no winners, only a world left in ruins where everyone loses.
Exactly. Wow. That's crazy though. The So Russia's has the two largest. China's next, and then we have the smaller ones, but we just have a shit ton of them. and we've got them placed all over the place, all in the water. These all in through submarines in the water. These can be dropped by. We have hundreds of these where they've only got a couple of what do they say? China had 30 or so, roughly. There's around 20 something of these, and these, I don't know exactly how many they have of these. But even test the power of this is theoretical, because when they tested one, it blew up at the site. So apparently, this one right here is completely theoretical as far as what it can do, just based on specs that we have. But that's still crazy. That's crazy. So we've gone with more smaller, can still do some pretty good damage, but we've gone with smaller ones. We would have to shoot or drop a whole bunch of them across different, a bunch of areas. But we have where these can, are shot one at a time. They do destruction by themselves and hellacious structure just by themselves. But we carry like this one, it's 2,000 pound, a little over 2,000 pound bomb. But we can hold, what was it, 16 on a stealth, and that can be dropped over several places or whatnot, doing just still catastrophic damage, but in smaller. That's crazy. So that's the reason why we really, this is, of course, China, Russia, and us are the major. I don't know. I mean, obviously North Korea is also a concern, but I don't know. Clearly, they don't have, or it's unknown maybe, of what they actually have. I don't know. But that's just to show the impact. So even from here, your impact here was like a mile, like the initial bomb, like the initial blow fireball was a mile, and this one's 3 miles. So even though this is small as it is, it still does a pretty hefty impact. Now granted, the extended damage going out is much different from here. You're talking, this one was more what, like the burn, 3-degree burn was what, like 4 miles, I think, where this one's like, what was it, 25 miles or something, square miles. So that's a major difference, right? And then, of course, your further just affected area was like over 1,000 square miles. That's wild. Now, granted, their specific pinpoints that they were sort of theorizing as far as like city locations dropped and what would be dropped and how much damage can be done. It kind of made it like, this one could do a crap load more damage than this one, but it's just really based because they did it in New York instead of San Francisco. I think, you just the death toll would be greater there. Just because merely of location. So those were kind of odd. You really can't. You really can't take like the full damage, like, or people kill. Like if you drop this one over New York, this one was like 7 million people. I mean, this one still would probably kill a couple million people. I mean, two, maybe even 3 million people. In that scenario. So I mean, It's still devastating. Even this one is still devastating. But that just shows why everybody really is afraid of. Now, Russia you might think Russia isn't quite as afraid because they just can do so much damage, but they are limited on how many of these they have. And the fact that even though they can shoot it to anywhere, any location they want to in the world from a single point, it would still take a minute for it to get there. Where, if we're dropping these, or even this one, it's more short range and probably moves faster. This one's, of course, is dead dropped. So it's not going to take long at all to drop. But that's still, but that shows how much we were, I don't think anybody really wants to get, because the devastation would be just so crazy. If anybody was to use these type of weapons, I mean, you might as well just, it would just obliterate everybody, because everybody would go crazy then. Everybody would lose their shit. There would be no holding back anybody from shooting anything they wanted. So to shoot one of these, it's used as a deterrent, it's like, hey, like a chest puffer. Hey, remember, we got this. But to use it, that's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, threatening it's one thing. It's just, like I said, puffing your chest out, kind of a dick slinging competition. But the idea of actually using it purposely, I mean, that's a whole different thing. That's like, it's like once you push that button, no matter who we're talking about here, Russia, China, US, North Korea, or whoever else, Israel, whatever else, whoever else wants to use one or decides to use one, I mean, you're basically pushing the button for world devastation on grand scale, because everybody would lose their shit. Potentially, anyways. It would be hard for me to think otherwise. I mean, especially if they actually made contact and they actually did devastation. If one of them shot off and somehow we were able to, blow it up in the air or some shit, or, I mean, or somehow, I mean, I would even think causing it to drop in waters, the ocean somewhere, would still do some pretty hellacious damage. I mean, the, tsunami effect or something that it would create would probably be dangerous in itself. But, I mean, I'm just thinking the possibilities that we might could do to deter it from actually making land contact. But that's, if any of them actually made land contact, though, I mean, it would be gloves off, and you would pretty much just be saying, you pretty much be ending the world, and it doesn't matter who it's coming from, because I would be hard pressed to think that any of these major governments would just decide to not retaliate. I mean, maybe, but I'd be hard pressed to think that. So while the threat is always there, as stupid as I think it is, I think they should all just be completely decommissioned, safely gotten rid of. I think everybody should be denuclearized. But Um, that's the reason why I don't really think anybody would actually hit that trigger. Push that button, make that call. I think it's just, now I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's completely like a empty threat, but because it certainly holds weight, it certainly holds, some influence, but you're going about a whole different ball game to actually going through with, you know, delivering one of these. But yeah, I found that very interesting. I did not know the impact that some of these could do. I mean, I knew it could be big, but that's wild. And even with us with the B-38, we're getting ready to, or preparing to potentially decommission them, but for just a better version of it. That's and what it would do. That's interesting. Yeah, I just wish they would all go away. I think it's I'm the type that's I want less and less armies. I want less war. I want less. I'd like none, but I wish everybody just get along. And just stop with the power. Chest bumping and pumping and everything else. But anyways, thank you very much. If you found that interesting, let me know. Thank you for joining me here. Give me your thoughts in the comment section about did you know the impact that these could do? Did you know about them? Did you not know about them? Was it like the fear that you thought it was? I mean, definitely the devastation, especially on the scale. Those where me mute this. On this scale here, that's crazy. I mean, this is Mount Everest. This is the Yukushima. This is us, that little bitty bomb. Like I said, your inner, they certainly do get bigger. The cloud explosion is crazy, though. Granted, this one's completely theoretical. But and also, you're probably looking at the most extreme perfect, like I said, condition of one of these, right? Without any kind of issues going on with it, but still, that's crazy. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me. If you like that, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. And ultimately, I don't think anybody really would push that button, but it's still a scary thought. One that I wish we didn't have to worry about. Anyways, thank you very much. And until next time, been ClearTalk. Peace. I'm out.